Okay, how you guys doing? This is the Pangdemonium Season 6 halftime show. I'm Titsma Gee. This is Dr. Jim Pang.
I go by James usually. Dr. James Pang.
Sorry, Dr. James Pang. He has a PhD in Pangology.
Yeah.
Next to us is Dixie Normas.
Thank you.
And next to him, this is Gao to Ping Pang Bon. He's an ancient Ping Pang master. Okay, so we have a couple topics I want to talk to you about here. The first is an overwhelming amount of logs in this series, I think. And this is something I want to ask our panel about. First, Dr. James Pang, the one thing I want to ask you about is, can you give us any insight into the psychological effects of a log? What does this do to the player when he constantly logs?
Well, Mr. McGee, you play to win the game. You play to win the game. When a guy logs, it kills you. We let him off the hook.
Now, do you think that a log is worse psychologically to the player than would be, say, a regular loss?
I do. Especially, let's say you're up 10-6. You log, I usually, I want to go binge eat or something like that. It destroys me psychologically.
I think the biggest contributor to the psychological factor of a log is having to retrieve the ball after logging. Oftentimes it's filthy, it's smelly, it's just a humiliating experience.
And this is a phenomenon known as log burps, or log juice, or log air, any of those things. It's a humiliating factor into it. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is, let me just, here, okay. Now, this series has actually happened a lot, the Doctor versus the Dynasty, and, it's something that I want to talk about because you don't see that many other players in the championship, and, my question to the panel, I'll ask Dixie Normas, is do you feel that these two guys are always being in the championship? Do you think that this affects the other players? Do you feel that there should be other players in the championship?
I think psychologically it hurts some other players, but I think they all know that these are the two best players in the game, and the two best players normally play themselves.
Good insight.
That's right. Okay.
I would like to say before we move on,
sorry, yes,
by Dr. Pang, the gap between the greatest players is certainly closing down. There are at least 3 players that can make it to the championship any given season.
How would you have liked to see an APT member in the final two?
Absolutely not.
Do you think that would be a what's a good word? Epic battle?
I think we should move on to the next question.
Okay, hit a sore spot with that one. Let's move on.
We don't like the APT.
Okay. In other news, I have some OXO events I'd like to talk about. The Big Chill happened yesterday. It's just a great thing to see the off-campus students getting involved in events, even though it wasn't at our school, but we're working on it. Okay, moving on. This is the first year that the PGC has instituted the logometer, and this is good because it allows the viewers to know how many logs there were in the series. And logs are a very interesting thing. I'd like to talk to the panel about technology. What do you want? Carry on? I'd like to talk to the panel about technology in Pang. Gao to Ping Pang Bon. I know when you first started playing Pang many, many moons ago, they didn't have all this technology. Now we have scoreboards, we have, logometers, we have reps, we have cameras filming, we have halftime shows. I wanted to talk to you about the commercialization of Pang.
Well, you would be surprised, honestly, back in the dark days of Pang, we had paper, we had crayons, we had cameras even. We were very advanced for our time.
Thank you. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is some upcoming events before we get back. The World Cup is coming up, and this is the first time we've done it. And this is sort of interesting because it's going to pit all the players against each other in a different fashion than in the regular season. The players will be representing their mother nations, we'll call them. And the interesting thing about this is the pool that the players are being put into are based on lifetime statistics. So, you know, we'll see some interesting play here. Let's see what else I have here. Okay, let's you know what? Let's move on to the meat and potatoes of the argument. The actual Pangdemonium Championship.
Time to move on. Yeah.
I want to get your picks first of all. I'm gonna wait to give mine. I'm gonna go down the line. Dr. James Pang, who do you feel is gonna win this? How do you feel this series is going?
What is the score now in the series?
Well, we have the Dynasty at 5 wins and the Doctor at 3 wins. Okay, and it is remind you the first to win 8.
Oh, first to win 8.
Yes. Am I right about that? First to win 7?
Yes, sir.
First to win 8?
First to win 8, yeah.
Okay.
I believe that the Dynasty will win it, but it will be another 8-7 series victory.
So you think it's going to go to the last game?
Last game might see some rat things. It's going to be a close one.
Alright.
The Doctor's going to be back.
Sorry.
The Doctor's going to be back.
The Doctor's
He's got a lot of
back?
diagnoses to make. He's going to be back. All kinds of prescriptions that guy's going to give out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd have to go 8-5 Dynasty. It's very clear
Are you
that...
kidding me? I'm sorry.
It's very clear that the Doctor isn't playing up to his game. There's been a lot of logs on his part. Just have to say he kind of sucks today.
On a lighter note, I think that the Doctor will come back and win it, 8-7. Steve, other Dynasty, has seen 4 wins so far, and I think that his reign is over.
Okay, thanks guys. Let's see here. You know, I think that the obvious sort of answer here would be the Dynasty's going to win. He's won 4 times already. He's up now. You know, he's on a streak. He's going to win. But I think it's time for a change of pace. I think the Doctor has it this season, and I think we're going to see a new champion. But you know what? It's Pang. Anything can happen. I'd like to thank our panel of experts, Dr. James Pang, Dixie Normas, Gao de Ping Pang Bon. You know, you guys were great. I hope to see you back here next year. Actually, maybe we'll even do a panel of experts for the World Cup. I don't know what the TCNJ has decreed yet. So anyway, taking up enough of your time. We're going to get back to the amazing series that's going on right now. And let's get back to it. Thank you.